Yo, what's up YouTube? Edwin the Comic Jabroni coming at you, and in today's video I've got another 5 Batman villains first appearances that you should be on the lookout for. Bolo, stick around. Oh, yo, what's going on, guys? So welcome back. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Edwin, the Comic Jabroni. And if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I'm a huge Batman fan. I just love the mystique and the history behind Batman. But one of the main things that I really enjoy reading about Batman is his rogue gallery, right? And you've got some huge villains in there with big time money being spent on their first appearances. Joker, the Riddler, Bane, Penguin, Poison Ivy. I mean, there is a lot of money to be spent on first appearances for Batman rogue villains. But like I've done in past videos, which I'm gonna link up here, there are first appearances in Batman books that you can have for relatively cheap. These are villains that have yet to really see their full potential maybe, or they've been used and they've just been on kind of the back burner, and their books are a little bit cheaper than you would have found them a year or two ago. So I want to go through 5 and kind of a 6th with one of the books, and we'll get into that. But I love Batman, and I love the Batman Rogue Gallery. I think, in my opinion, him and Spider-Man from Marvel have the best, villains attached to the name Spider-Man and Batman, obviously, right? Hey, before we get into the list, if this is your first time watching one of Edwin the Comic Jabroni's videos, and you're into Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, comic reviews, speculation, all of that awesome comic goodness, well, think about hitting that subscribe button and joining the hashtag Comic Jabroni Nation. And remember to hit that bell notification, because it'll tell you when I'm dropping videos and when I'm going live, because you don't want to miss a Comic Jabroni live stream. Just like last week, I did a giveaway for everybody that was in my live stream for a Tales of the Teen Titans 44. So you don't want to miss a live stream. Make sure you hit that bell notification and the subscribe button, guys. But let's get into the list. So how the list is going to work is we're going to start from number 5, which is going to be the one that just happened not too long ago. And then we're going to go down the list, and the last one is going to be the one that you might spend a little bit more money on, but it's nothing crazy. It's still going to run you less than, more than likely, $30. And it's from the 1980s, okay? So let's get into the list. All right, guys, first up on the list, we have Batman issue number 43 from the New 52 series. And this villain, his name is Mr. Bloom. Now, Mr. Bloom is a mysterious new power player in Gotham City, and his ulterior motives remain a mystery, as does his past. But with his arrival came a new wave of former crooks turned metahuman powerhouses. He provides his seeds to select a few, acting as implants that, once rooted inside the body, will grant their hosts extraordinary superpowers at the cost of their lives. So Mr. Bloom shows up at the very end of this New 52 era, right? Issue number 43. We're almost to the end. Written by Scott Snyder, drawn by Greg Capullo. This is at a point in time during the New 52 where Bruce Wayne Batman isn't even around anymore. He and the Joker had the final battle and both die off. So who takes over the Batman mantle? Well, Commissioner Jim Gordon does. So that's who has taken over the mantle, and this Mr. Bloom comes in and he's spreading this seed to these different people, and it's giving them superpowers. But this guy is so creepy, and he's able to grow like the length of buildings, and his hands and his nails can grow out, and just it's a very creepy story in the way he goes about killing people. And I don't want to get into more of the story, but this is a first appearance of a character that I think you guys should be on the lookout for. Issue 43, it's not going to run you too much money, but it is a villain in the Batman Rogue Gallery, guys. Let's get into the next book. Next up on the list, we're still in the New 52 era, but we're moving on over to Detective Comics, which in my opinion doesn't get as much love for in the New 52. Batman, that Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run always gets all the love, right, from Batman fans. Their Batman run was pretty damn good. But in Detective Comics, we see some new villains come up out of the ranks, right? And we see the Joker's face get cut off. I mean, there is some great storytelling in Detective Comics. But the one I want to talk to you about is Detective Comics issue number 13. This is the first appearance of Ignatius Ogilvy, or otherwise known as Emperor Penguin. Ignatius Ogilvy is a criminal in Gotham City who worked for the Penguin. He eventually became his own boss under the name Emperor Penguin and later Emperor Blackgate. So, the story with Emperor Penguin. This is a guy that's worked under the Penguin and he's risen through the ranks of the Penguin's mob family. And at some point, he ends up taking over and kicking Cobblepot off to the side of the road. But he gets a little ahead of himself trying to fight Batman, and you know how things end up with that. But I will tell you that this is such a cool character, and his backstory as a kid kind of resembles that of Bruce Wayne. His parents are shot outside of that theater, but instead of being rich, they are like criminals. His dad was a 2-bit criminal under one of the mob families. His mom, didn't do much, but he kind of has that same backstory, guys. So this is a book that I think you guys should be on the lookout for. It's a fairly newer book, came out in 2015. So even probably earlier than that. Let's see, what do we got? 2012, all right? So 2012, about 8 years ago, but it's still a book that can be found relatively easily. Guys, Emperor Penguin, this could be somebody that we see later on in this DC universe, this whole Batman run that they're doing, because they are bringing in the Penguin. So you never know when the name Ignatius Ogilvy will show up, guys. Let's get into the next book. Next up for you, we're going to continue on with the New 52 Detective Comics, and that's going to be issue number 1. Now, this book is probably going to run you, $15 to $20, but in this book, we do see the first cameo appearance of Barton Mathis, who ends up becoming the Dollmaker. But as cool as I think this cover is, and I think this story is, I think the real book to get is actually Detective Comics issue number 2 from the New 52 series. And I'm going to tell you exactly why, because not only do we get the first full appearance of the Dollmaker in this, but we also get the first appearance of his dollhouse family and his daughter, Dollface. You guys, you see the whole family fighting Batman in this issue. So as cool as I think Detective Comics issue number 1, is to get, and I think you should, go out there and find it, I think issue number 2 is the one that should be on your radar, because in this age of movies and superheroes and they're trying to push, female superheroes and female villains, I don't think Dollmaker is the one that we need to be on lookout for. I think it's Dollface, which is his daughter, and she's just as creepy as he is. That's it from the New 52 era. Let's dig a little deeper and get into the 90s run. All right, guys, next up on the list, we've got Batman the Cult, Book 1. And this is written by Jim Starlin, amazing writer, right? We all know Jim Starlin. But this, we see the first appearance of Deacon Blackfire. Now, I know that people are going to say, well, Edwin, yeah, we know about this book. We know, but this book has taken sort of a nosedive. It heated up about 2 years ago, man. It was a hot book. But nothing really ever happened with this Deacon Blackfire. We didn't really see him in a movie or a TV show, cartoon, whatever it was. He never really popped back up in a comic. So I think now is just the perfect time to get in there and pick up Batman the Cult, book number 1. So Deacon Blackfire is a sociopathic but influential cultist operating in Gotham City. He is notable for being one of the few to break Batman psychologically by successfully brainwashing the Dark Knight into joining his cult. So, like I've said, Deacon Blackfire, this one picked up heat, I'd say about 2 years ago. Everybody was out there looking for Batman the Cult, but it has died off. It's cooled off. So now is the perfect time to find it. Plus, it is a bigger, prestige type of issue, square bound on the side. So when you find this book, you really want to make sure that the sides are complete. Sometimes with these square bounds, you'll see them kind of ripped off, or they might be a little bit worse for wear. So just when you're looking for it, keep in mind some of those things with these square bound books. But it is an awesome story, and I think it's one that Batman fans, and even if you're not a Batman fan, I think it's a book that should be read. But let's get into the last book. All right, guys, the last book that I've got for you, and this is a Bronze Age book. So we're digging deeper, we're getting down. And this is the first appearance since the Golden Age of Hugo Strange. Right? Hugo Strange is one of those villains in the Batman Rogue Gallery that we have seen over and over and over again. Hugo Strange is a brilliant but insane psychologist and scientist who is driven by obsession to fight against Batman. Strange is famous for having discovered Batman's secret identity independently through deduction and striking at him emotionally, while using genetically engineered monster men as his own private army. So, Detective Comics issue 471. This isn't his first appearance because that was in the Golden Age, but it is his first appearance since the Golden Age of comics. So that's a pretty big one because a lot of us aren't going to be able to afford a Golden Age first appearance. Hell, I can't afford a Golden Age first appearance. But what's better? Hey, let's get his first appearance in this age, right? In the Bronze Age, or get a first appearance in the Silver Age or in the Modern Age, whatever it is. Hugo Strange continues to be a big pain in the ass to Batman. He's shown up in TV shows. Has he shown up in movies? Not entirely sure, but hey guys, they're always making Batman movies and they're always trying to find villains to put in there, and especially villains that we don't really see. So I think Detective Comics issue 471 is one that you should be on the lookout for. It's not gonna run you crazy amounts of money. You can get this book for less than $30. Probably get it for less than $20 because the two copies that I have, I paid $15 for one and I paid $18 for the other one. One's in really decent shape, guys. So, guys, I think Hugo Strange is one you should be on the lookout for. All right, so that is five, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more Batman Rogue Gallery villains that you should be on the lookout for. Their first appearances aren't expensive. They're not going to break the bank, but you just never know with Batman when one of these villains is going to come back, show up in a new comic series, or show up in a movie or a TV show, and the prices are going to rise up for you, man. So, guys, be on the lookout for them. Let me know. Do you have any of these? If so, let me know which ones you got. All right, guys, so that's the list of 5 villains. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit that like button. Write me a comment down below. But I will see you guys next time. I'm Edwin the Comic Jabroni. Peace.